now at 9:49. We are just going to go ahead and switch gears and bring it back to the Carolinas here in Charlotte, in our neighborhood, our backyard. Charlotte Motor Speedway, you know it is the heart of American motorsports. But this spring, expanding its legacy in a whole new direction. It's really cool. It's the Heritage Invitational. It's back for its third year, and it brings together collectors. You got the racers, you've got legends in all these gorgeous cars, and it's happening in the all-new 10/10ths Motor Club. That's hard to say, Jonathan. 10/10ths Motor Club. Jonathan Coleman of Charlotte Motor Speedway joining us here in the Live Impact studio. How you doing?
Doing great. 10/10ths is a tongue twister for sure.
Tongue twister even. Oh my goodness. All right, so for folks who have not heard about this Heritage Invitational before, how do you describe it?
Yeah, so 10/10ths is actually racing parlance. It means you're going all out. You're not giving 8/10ths. You're not giving 9/10ths. You're pedal to the metal, so to speak. So the Heritage Invitational is really that for the luxury automotive car show. If you think about places like Pebble Beach or Amelia Island, they have these really high-end Concours caliber shows that are the absolute best cars from all around the world, and that's what we wanted to create kind of in the mid-Atlantic. There's no other show like this anywhere around. So we've got about 115 cars that are going to be out on Saturday that are just the absolute cream of the crop. Over $500 million in valued vehicles that'll be out there that folks can take in and celebrate the history and the artistry, the innovation behind the automobile, but really also the community behind it. And that's what we're trying to grow is, finding those names that have helped make car culture, such a part of our lives, and to be able to celebrate them. So we're going to have, obviously with our motorsports roots, a lot of motorsports, folks that are going to be out joining us throughout the weekend. But if you know the classic car community, you know guys like Wayne Carini, who was a longtime car restorer and had a TV show about restoring his cars, and you know Ed Bolian, who is a Lamborghini aficionado who actually did a Cannonball Run race, which is a legally dubious, questionable race across the country, how fast you can get from one side to the other. So being able to bring all of those people together and celebrate car culture is really what the Heritage Invitational is about.
It is gorgeous. And for the third year, how has this event evolved?
Yeah, so we actually started across the street. We also have AutoFair, which is a little bit more of a blue-collar car show that we do inside the oval track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And it was, the first year I think we had 20 cars, but we saw the potential for something bigger. So we have grown by leaps and bounds, and we're going to have almost 120 cars out at this year's show, just to see the interest, to see the community, and to be able to find, as you put on great events and that word of mouth gets out there, we now have car owners that are coming to us going, I want to show my car, instead of having to go out and find them. So it's been a great opportunity for growth. Obviously, opening a new facility last year and being able to host the Heritage at the 10/10ths Motor Club, kind of makes it its own event, so to speak. So really being able to grow it and have a bigger footprint, to be able to do a little bit more upscale hospitality, to have some panel discussions and autograph sessions and host podcasts and things like that. It's been able to help us grow and really create what we think is going to be a lasting and impactful car show.
Yeah, well, talk about the facility then, 10/10ths, for those who haven't gone there. What was the vision in building this?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it is very much a country club racetrack.
Yes,
if you want to think of it in that terms, it's a 1.7 mile circuit. So it's not the oval tracks that folks are used to when you think about Charlotte Motor Speedway. But the idea is that you almost feel like you're transported somewhere new and completely different. You're kind of rolling through the undulation and the hills, there on the property. But we've also got a 20,000 square foot clubhouse. So that opens up the opportunity to be able to host, higher end hospitality offerings. The patio actually looks right out over top of the racetrack. So we've got these big garage doors that open up, and you have kind of this open air patio that you can take in the sights and the sounds of the shows and just really have an elevated experience.
And talk to us about the celebrity ProAm, right? The debut was last year. You had some big names there.
Absolutely,
what can people
expect? This guy named Jeff Gordon's pretty good at driving.
Yeah, I heard of him.
Driving race cars. So we, in an effort to give back to the community, community, we're always looking for ways to be able to support. Speedway Children's Charities is the Speedway's philanthropic arm. So we raise money throughout the year to give back and pump back into nonprofits across the Charlotte area. And through this ProAm, basically, amateur drivers have the opportunity to buy a ticket to pair up with a professional driver, and then it becomes kind of a time trial. So as an amateur, I get one lap, and then the driver that I pair up with gets one lap, and we put our combined times together, and if we're fast enough, we advance to the next round and advance to the next round. Jeff Gordon, who is the big part of Hendrick Motorsports, multi-time champion NASCAR Cup Series driver, came in and won it last year. He wanted to go out on a winning streak, so he is retired from the Pro-Am this year, but we have got some phenomenal drivers. Three-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Joey Logano is going to be in it. Mark Martin, Kurt Busch, lots of big names that are going to be vying for the chance to be our second annual Celebrity Pro-Am driver. And most importantly, again, a great opportunity to give back. We actually raised over $200,000 last year to put back into community nonprofits that support children in need right here across the greater Charlotte area.
That's so fantastic. So many icons in one place. How do you curate a guest list like this?
It helps to have a lot of really good connections.
Yeah.
So I think Ray Evernham, who was actually Jeff Gordon's crew chief kind of in his heyday, is the executive director of the Heritage Invitational. So with his contacts in motorsports, but also in the automotive, restoration and collector world, he makes a few phone calls to his friends, and again, over a couple of years after doing this, kind of word of mouth, folks want to come out and be part of the event. So it's a good problem to have. Certainly a great guest list, and if you're a racing fan, come spend some time with us this weekend. You're liable to get an autograph or a picture with a pretty big name driver and a legend within the community.
All right, so how can you come out? What's going to be the atmosphere?
Yeah, so the best thing to do is going to be to check heritageinvitational.com. You can get the schedule for the weekend. You can get all the different ticket options depending on if you're just wanting to roll and kind of roam around the grounds and see the cars, or if you want kind of that full, high-end experience in the clubhouse with the food and drink and everything else. You can get all the schedules of when things are happening and who's going to be where with the autograph sessions. But checking out heritageinvitational.com, is going to be the best way to secure those tickets.
That sounds so fun. And you don't have to own a vintage sports car, Carlene, to go out there.
No.
We don't have one.
We don't.
We don't, but I'd like to see them. I'd like to imagine if I had one.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Well,
that's what it's about.
It's a great place to dream, that's for sure. It's a great place to dream about one day.
Great event.
One day.
All right, Jonathan, thank you for coming in, letting us know about it, and a great event and just a good benefit for all.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate that. And with that, we'll be right back on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.